Breaking news. A seismic shift in global military power is underway as China, Russia, and now Iran have all confirmed possession of operational hypersonic missile technology, a development that is sending shockwaves through defense circles in Washington, NATO capitals, and beyond. With these three nations, each a strategic rival to the West, now fielding or testing hypersonic weapons, the global balance of power is entering a new and highly unstable phase. Over the past few weeks, Iranian military officials have revealed successful testing of a domestically produced hypersonic missile, which they claim is capable of reaching speeds over Mach 15 and evading all known missile defense systems. This announcement follows similar declarations from China, which has tested multiple hypersonic glide vehicles, and Russia, which has already deployed its Avangard and Kinzhal systems in active military zones, including during its operations in Ukraine. What sets hypersonic missiles apart from conventional ballistic missiles is their speed, agility, and unpredictability. These missiles travel at more than 5 times the speed of sound, often maneuvering mid-flight to avoid detection and interception. Unlike traditional ICBMs that follow a high-arc trajectory, hypersonic weapons glide at low altitudes and can change direction, making them nearly impossible to defend against with current anti-missile systems. Iran joins the elite hypersonic club. Iran's defense ministry claims its new missile, named Fateh-2, can hit targets over 1,400 kilometers away in under 5 minutes and penetrate even the most advanced layered missile defense networks, including Israel's Iron Dome and the U.S. Aegis system. General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, the head of Iran's aerospace force, stated in a press briefing, "With this hypersonic capability, our deterrent power reaches a new level. Any hostile threat against Iran will be met with instant and unstoppable response." This declaration signals that Iran is no longer just a regional power, but is increasingly positioning itself as a global military actor aligned with major players like China and Russia. China and Russia already ahead. Russia for its part has been aggressively developing hypersonic technologies for years. Its Avangard system, capable of carrying nuclear warheads at speeds exceeding Mach 20, has been deployed to operational units. The Kinzhal missile, launched from aircraft, has already been used in the Ukraine conflict, showcasing its tactical application in a real battlefield. Meanwhile, China's DF-ZF hypersonic glide vehicle, mounted on DF-17 missiles, is believed to be fully operational and capable of delivering both conventional and nuclear payloads. U.S. Intelligence sources suggest that China has successfully conducted multiple tests over the Pacific, raising alarm in the Indo-Pacific region. Western response and strategic alarm. The United States, although heavily invested in hypersonic research, has not yet deployed an operational hypersonic missile. Several U.S. programs remain in the testing phase, and delays have prompted criticism from military analysts. The Pentagon recently acknowledged the hypersonic gap in a congressional hearing, with defense officials warning that failure to catch up could leave the U.S. homeland vulnerable to a first-strike scenario that current missile shields cannot defend against. NATO leaders have also expressed concern. A joint intelligence report leaked last week suggests that hypersonic cooperation between China, Russia, and Iran could lead to a multi-front threat scenario, especially if hostilities escalate in Taiwan, Eastern Europe, or the Middle East. One NATO official was quoted saying, "The battlefield has changed. We're no longer talking about minutes or hours of warning. With hypersonics, we have seconds." Global implications, a new arms race. The emergence of a hypersonic missile race is already reshaping military budgets, alliances, and geopolitical strategies. Countries like India, North Korea, the UK, and Australia are now accelerating their own hypersonic programs in response to the shifting threat landscape. Some analysts fear that hypersonics may lower the threshold for nuclear conflict, given their first strike potential and rapid launch-to-impact timelines. The inability to confirm whether an incoming hypersonic missile is nuclear or conventional adds to the danger of miscalculation and unintended escalation. International calls for a new arms control treaty specifically focused on hypersonic weapons are growing. But with trust between major powers at historic low, such negotiations are unlikely in the near term. Strategic partnerships deepen. Beyond the weapons themselves, what worries Western analysts most is the deepening military coordination between China, Russia, and Iran. These nations have already held joint naval drills, intelligence sharing agreements, and arms deals. The shared development and deployment of hypersonic technology signals a higher level of military trust and strategic alignment. Iran's latest test, reportedly conducted with technical assistance from both Russian and Chinese advisors, indicates a growing axis of hypersonic-capable nations willing to challenge Western military dominance head-on. This new partnership could soon lead to combined tactical doctrines, shared targeting data, and even coordinated missile defense evasion strategies in potential conflict zones. Public reaction and global security concerns. As news of Iran's hypersonic success spreads, stock markets in the defense sector have surged, while civilian experts and activists are calling for more transparency and diplomacy to reduce risks. Citizens in countries like South Korea, Israel, and Poland, which sit on potential front lines, have expressed growing anxiety over the hypersonic threat. Emergency preparedness campaigns and defense system upgrades are being rolled out rapidly in anticipation of the new threat matrix. Meanwhile, international organizations like the United Nations and IAEA have yet to make a formal statement on Iran's missile program, though back-channel discussions are reportedly underway. Conclusion. The world enters a new military era. With hypersonic missiles now in the hands of China, Russia, and Iran, the era of global strategic certainty is over. The ability to strike anywhere in the world in under 10 minutes without interception changes the nature of deterrence, diplomacy, and warfare itself. Military experts agree. The next major conflict will not resemble the wars of the past. It will be faster, more unpredictable, and potentially far more devastating. And unless global powers come together to regulate or contain this technology, the hypersonic arms race may become the most dangerous threat the world has ever faced. This is a developing story. Stay tuned for more updates as more information becomes available.